E3 is a little over 2 months away and I couldn't be more excited. The week full of game announcements and reveals is coming near and near, so it's time to start some speculation and talk about what I want to see in terms of what's shown there. Criteria these games had to hit were the fact that they had to be unannounced, so this should make it a little bit more fun. Also with this list, I tried to be as spread out in terms of the publisher while still also being true to myself. Honorable mentions that quite didn't make my list go to Elder Scrolls 6, Bloodborne 2, and Bioware's new IP. In the comments, please let me know what games you want to be announced as well, and with that being said, here's my top 5. If there was a first-person shooter that I thought was really underrated, it would definitely be Wolfenstein. It's been almost 3 years since the last game, or 2 counting the later expansion, and with Bethesda holding their annual conference this year, well, the next Wolfenstein would definitely be the game I would be the most excited for if announced. To me, Wolfenstein has incredible fun gameplay, a decent story, cool settings, and a good pace. In a time where first-person shooters are constantly being annualized and milked, Call of Duty, it's nice to have a refreshing shooter like Wolfenstein in the mix. I even remember the New Order also having some cool Uncharted-like set pieces, whether that be fighting enemies on a bridge, dangling off the edge, looking down at what would be instant death, and of course, you can't forget the moon. Man, if the next Wolfenstein is anything like the New Order, well, count me in. With the next game possibly coming late this year, or in the possible first half of next year, this game seems imminent. I can only hope that the game keeps true to its fundamentals while still having some innovation in there as well. Until then, it's time to kill some more Nazis, Blazkowicz. Far Cry 3 is easily one of my favorite games of all time, so it was really disappointing to see Ubisoft do the same yearly tradition they did with Assassin's Creed. Far Cry 4 felt just like Far Cry 3 in terms of gameplay, but felt short in other aspects in terms of story and environments. It also doesn't help that they made Primal a year or so after, which also looks to just do the same thing in a prehistoric setting. This time, I want Far Cry 5 to actually innovate and do something different like Far Cry 3 did back in 2012. I can only hope that the leaks aren't true, and this game takes its time and doesn't release for a couple years. I'm torn if I actually want to see this game soon, but if Far Cry 4 is shown and it doesn't look like a complete reskin, color me excited. To me, besides new IPs and an innovating new Assassin's Creed game, Far Cry 5 is definitely what I want to see from Ubisoft come this E3.
Did I ever tell you the definition of insanity? Oh, Jesus.
The PlayStation 2 Sly games have always been a part of my gaming childhood, so it's no wonder I really want a Sly 5. The series has been in a dire state as of recently, with the movie adaptation going nowhere and no mention of a future game. I know it's unlikely, and in fact I don't want Sucker Punch to make a Sly 5, but I can't help but feel that, you know, Crash Bandicoot's also getting a remaster, so maybe Sly can get a remaster, or maybe even a new installment by some developer. Having the last platformer on the PS4 be Ratchet & Clank, and the next platformer looking to be Yooka-Laylee, there certainly is a gap that Sly could fill in terms of platformers. Are platformers dead on the PlayStation 4? Well, I sure hope not, and even the ending of Sly 4 hints at a possible sequel, so come on Sony, it's time. You brought back the Bandicoot, now it's time to do the same with the Raccoon. When thinking about game series that I really want another installment from, I can't help but keep going back to the Bioshock series. Put into one word, the Bioshock games are truly amazing, and with the recent collection on the PS4 and Xbox One, it's certain that they're gearing up for another new game in the series. Do they go back to Rapture, Columbia, or even go somewhere completely new this time? All I know is I want another game, and I know it'll be amazing. Question is, can 2K Marin live up to what Irrational has done? Of course, they made Bioshock 2 a favorite to many, so it seems that the series is in safe hands. It's been 4 years since Infinite, and I think the break was really needed for the series, but now, you know, it being 4 years and all, I'm ready for a new game. I have no idea what to expect with the 4th installment, and honestly, I don't want to think about it one bit. Bioshock to me is a series that is best to go in blind, and just to enjoy the ride. Man, I'm going completely ahead of myself, but 2K, would you kindly reveal Bioshock 4? I've always said I wanted another Infamous game, but these past couple of months have changed the way I thought about that. It's almost certain that Sucker Punch is working on a new IP, given the fact it's been 3 years since the release of Second Son. This excites me. If you keep asking for the old, you'll never get the new. Think of Guerrilla Games and the success of Horizon Zero Dawn. If they didn't branch out and go for something completely new, we might have gotten another mediocre Killzone game. That would have been bad. The same thing applies for Naughty Dog with The Last of Us. After 3 games and 2 story expansions, I'm okay with Sucker Punch leaving the Infamous series and doing something new and exciting. I am very eager to see what Sucker Punch has done with these past couple years. So far, all we know about the new IP is it's going to be an open world thanks to a job listing. One thing is certain, it's going to be big, and man do I want to see what they have come up with. If the last couple years of E3 have taught us anything, it's that games matter the most, not the hardware. This is why Sony has been crushing its competition as of late, and why I think this year Xbox must have something up their sleeves besides the hotly anticipated Project Scorpio. To put the prediction in short, I believe Xbox will announce a new IP similar to Sony's exclusives in the fact that it will be story-oriented. I know it's a bold claim considering what they have been focusing as of late, but they are a business and certainly want to improve their sales. If you look at Sony's upcoming lineup, you see exciting games like The Last of Us Part 2, Death Stranding, Spider-Man, God of War, Days Gone, Uncharted: The Lost Legacy, and Sucker Punch's new game. Hell, even the Switch already is looking to have more exclusives than the Xbox One over 3 years after its release. Currently only owning a PS4 and PC, I see no reason to buy an Xbox One. This has to change, and I will easily purchase an Xbox One if they gave me a reason to. The solution is simple: bring the games. Thank you all a lot for watching my top 5 unannounced games that I want to see announced at E3, but now it's your turn. I want to hear from you. What are you looking forward to seeing at this year's Expo? It doesn't have to be realistic and almost certainly can be a stretch, but do you think Sony will win like previous years? Or do you think Xbox can win over a lot of people this year? Of course, this list only covered unannounced games, so things like God of War, Battlefront 2, Detroit Become Human, and Project Scorpio will almost certainly have some screen time. As always, I'll be covering the event like in past years, and it should be a lot of fun. Until then, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you in the next one.